Hello, welcome. This is like a little personal update on my long COVID. So I told you guys like, oh, 3 weeks after doing the nicotine patch, I felt like so much better. I was exercising, and I definitely feel better. My heart rate is much better. Like my resting heart rate comes back to normal. It still like increases much more than it should with even little activity like going up the stairs. My heart rate goes to like 90 or 100. And always in the morning, my heart rate's a little bit higher. And then it kind of settles out throughout the day. But on day 29, 30, I started feeling really lethargic again, and like not sleeping well. So I was sleeping really well, like in the last few weeks after doing the nicotine patch. And definitely when I sleep better, I feel better the next day and I have more energy. So obviously a correlation. Um, but I also noticed in the last like 4 to 5 days, I started getting more spikes in my heart rate overnight. So every morning I check my smartwatch, like what did my heart do last night? And at first it was sort of just like to 80. So it used to be like 100, but then it was kind of like spiking to 80. Sometimes it would wake me up. Sometimes I would sleep through it. Sometimes when it did wake me up, I could force myself to go back to sleep. But then over the days, I started waking up more. And then I think it was last night or the night before, I had a big heart rate spike again in the night to like over 100. So I decided to do another round of the nicotine patch to see if a little bit more will help my body recover more. Because so far, that's the thing that's helped me the most, and that's what I've heard from other people too that have commented on my videos, that like the nicotine patch actually made a substantial difference. I'm still doing my vitamin protocol, so vitamin C 500 milligrams twice a day, and then CoQ10. I think I'm taking 400 milligrams once a day. I don't really see anything from that, but it's only been a little over a week, so that probably takes some more time. And I still wear my compression socks. I can tell, like when I work, because I have a physical job, I wear my compression socks. On the weekends, I don't because it's summer and it's hot. But I can kind of tell. So sometimes I'm like, oh, I can tell by the end of the weekend or the end of the day, like I'll put them on in the evening for a few hours. I didn't really like know this, but someone else told me like, oh, I have this like feeling of heaviness in my legs. And I'm like, yeah, I feel that too. So it's nice to know like you're not alone, which is kind of like why I'm making this, to just sort of share my knowledge as a healthcare provider, which isn't a lot in long COVID, and then my personal experience. Not a doctor, I can't prescribe anything. Um, so yeah, and also I scheduled an appointment to see an immunologist. So that's kind of what I learned from my long COVID class that I took for physical therapy. And so the specialty is allergy slash immunology. And so I got a referral for that. So that's coming up in a few weeks, which I don't know, I'm feeling better, but far from 100%. So I just want to see if there's anything else they have to offer. I think that's worth it if you have access to that. I think it's a good next step. So basically, long COVID is an abnormal immune response. Like either your body didn't clear the virus completely, or it created sort of almost like an autoimmune response, like a an over response to immunity, or something else. Like that's kind of my basic understanding of it. So I'm hoping the immunologist has some insight, maybe some treatment ideas. But that's kind of it. It's sort of like modify your activities, your heart rate doesn't go crazy, plenty of rest, obviously do your best with nutrition and hydration. Another weird thing I've noticed, that I have more trouble having bowel movements. Not that I'm constipated, I don't feel any discomfort, but I just don't go. So normally, and again, I think that's part of all of this, like my digestive system has slowed down. So normally, usually if I eat salad at lunch, I poop an hour or two later. This might be TMI, but this is what I talk about every day in pelvic floor therapy. And like, I remember when COVID first became a thing, like reading about it can really affect your gut and your GI system. And then I thought about it, I'm like, yeah, like every time when I used to eat salad at lunch, I would poop an hour or two later. I'm not really a morning pooper. But now I'm like, man, I don't really have a full bowel movement for like a couple days usually. And that has been, I think, since long COVID because like I said, I was really cognizant before. Like, I try to eat salad every day at lunch. And on the weekends, when I don't follow my like healthy diet habits as much, I don't poop as much. Like, that's just my system. I need a lot of greens to make me poop and fiber. And so I'm trying to increase my fiber. And so, like I said, I never really have like difficulty pooping. Like some of my patients just, they physically have difficulty pooping. They can't empty completely, but I just don't have the like urge sensation that I need to poop. So I think that's also long COVID related. Yeah, bowel movements. That's what I talk about every day in pelvic floor therapy. So, anyway, it's just been nice. Thank you for everyone that's commented on my videos. It's nice to know like other people are having these symptoms because I feel like my symptoms weren't the symptoms I heard about as a healthcare provider. Like everyone heard about like the loss of smell and taste at the beginning, but what I've learned is majority of those people don't have long COVID. Like majority of people, those symptoms resolve. Also, I heard about POTS a lot, and like that's not my symptom. But chronic fatigue, I didn't hear about this until it happened to me. And then my PT friends started telling me like, oh, look at this provider, like look at these YouTube things. And then I went to this physical therapy class on long COVID, and I learned some more things. And that whole class was on chronic fatigue. So it's really interesting to me. It's really unfortunate, like that doctors don't know about this, that like they're kind of not funding studies anymore. But there are a few places still. Like I found Mount Sinai in New York has a study of like a Center for Chronic Disease Studying. So if you're there in New York City or around that area, maybe check them out. Maybe you can get some help there. And then there's like a few doctors that are kind of like not mainstream doctors, but they'll do a lot of telehealth for chronic fatigue, long COVID stuff. I looked at one in Flagstaff. I can link it. They're quite expensive, but they're very thorough. And I've heard people have really good success with them. So I'm like, I'm not quite at that point to pay $1,700. But maybe, so I'm kind of like figuring out, I'm definitely willing to like pay for some things for sure for my healthcare. But I'm not sure if I'm ready to go for like $2,000 right away, out of pocket. Anyway, but I would love to hear from you, like what's worked, what's helped, any practitioners you've seen that have helped. I consulted with a functional medicine doctor. She had some like generic ideas, but nothing really like specific. It was like increase your fiber, like eat 9 cups of vegetables a day, which I definitely don't eat 9 cups of vegetables a day. But I'm trying to like be more cognizant to eat more fiber so I poop more, right? Like that's kind of our normal way of detoxing, right? Like people talk about all these detoxes, but really a healthy bowel movement, a healthy gut system that's pooping, that's how we detox. We get rid of bacteria. Like I took a class on pooping because that's what I do. And I remember this one class they said like 50% of the weight of your poop is bacteria. So that's a lot. So regular pooping hopefully can kind of clear out the junk that's in our system. Maybe the vitamins and supplements can help. But yeah, the nicotine patch has so far been the thing that's made the most dramatic difference. And I'm hoping that maybe another round of it will help even more. So that's my update. Not to say it didn't work, but it wasn't 100%. Also, maybe just I need to give it more time because once it started working and I felt good, I was doing probably too much activity. So maybe it's that. It's like I wasn't, again, going crazy, like running 3 miles or anything. I was literally like, I can walk 10,000 steps or I could swim. But yeah, so maybe there's just time. Time is a factor, but also in long COVID, we know like time isn't what heals people. Like eventually most people get better, But sometimes that is like 2 years, and I don't want to live like this for 2 years. So, anyway, let me know what's helped you. And yeah, all right. See you later.